Hello and welcome back. I'm Barbara O'Neill, and in today's lecture we are diving into the incredible benefits of castor oil and how it could enhance your health and well-being. Since ancient times, castor oil has been prized for its healing properties, used for everything from soothing skin to supporting digestive health. But the secrets of castor oil that I'm going to reveal to you are simply mind-boggling. If you are looking for a simple and natural solution for most of your health problems, this video is for you. So stay tuned as we explore the age-old wisdom and modern-day applications of castor oil and discover how this simple oil can become a valuable part of your natural health toolkit.
Now, we have had a few people come to our retreat that have had bone spurs. Do you ever wonder where the bone spur comes from? Say there's a bone spur on the wrist. You go to the doctor, he'll say, and you'll say, what is that? He'll say, it's a bone spur. And then you'll say, but why is it on my bone and not in my bone? Because it's a calcium deposit, and he'll acknowledge that. And often the answer is, we don't know. But I'm about to show you why that calcium deposit goes on the bone and not in the bone. Let's say we meet someone who's breaking every law. They're breathing in bad air, they never go in the sunshine, they're living on the stimulants, which are all acid, they go to bed too late, they never exercise, don't have time, they're on the high-carb diet. Remember that diet we had there the other day? All acid-forming foods. They don't drink water because they don't like the taste. I've never had a cow not like the taste. Never had a horse not like the taste. Why would humans not like the taste? Because they've tasted sweet other things. Isn't that true? In fact, Joshua was saying, I think, introduce your children to vegetables and they'll eat vegetables. But if you introduce them to cakes and pastries and cookies, they're not going to eat their vegetables. It's exactly the same with water. Stress, worry, anxiety. Now this creates a very acid environment in the body. And the body's quickly trying to deal with that. And the blood pH is getting a little acid. It's going up to, what's going down, 7.35, 34, 33, we're dropping. And remember, down to 7.22 is death. So very quickly, the last resort buffer system is called on. Calcium, the most alkaline minerals pulled out of the bones in a form of calcium phosphate, comes into the blood, immediately helps to bring the balance back. 7.34, 35, we're safe. But now at a cost. We now have free calcium excess floating through the bloodstream. What's the body going to do with that? It'll dump it on the bones as a spur. It'll dump it in the kidneys, kidney stones, gallbladder, gallstones, even maybe a little bit of a build-up on the eyes. What's that called? Your cataracts. They're all illustrations of Newton's third law of motion. To every action, there's an equal and an opposite reaction. I read this statement in an old book that I'm about to quote to you, and I've put it in my book. This law never ceases to act as nature's equalizer, setting in motion compensatory forces to remedy every imbalance. Isn't that the true cause of disease? You now know, though, how to get rid of a bone spur, is that right? Castor oil. The good news is castor oil will never break down your bone, because remember Psalm 104 verse 14, that God gave herbs for the service of man. The castor oil comes in and says, where would you like me? What would you like me to do? Oh, the unnatural formations, that's what it'll break up, the bone spurs. So I say, well, fibroids and cysts and tumours, they're easy compared to the bone spur, and yet the castor oil can break up a bone spur.
So what makes castor oil so effective against these formations? Castor oil contains ricinoleic acid, which has anti-inflammatory and analgesic properties. When applied to the skin, it can penetrate deeply and help to dissolve abnormal growths and calcifications over time. This natural remedy has been used for centuries, and many have found it helpful in managing bone spurs, fibroids, cysts, and even tumors. To use castor oil for a bone spur, you can soak a cloth in castor oil and apply it to the affected area, covering it with plastic wrap and a heating pad to enhance absorption. Leave it on for an hour or so daily. Over time, this can help to break down the calcium deposits and relieve discomfort. But remember that addressing the underlying causes of these deposits is crucial. As mentioned earlier, lifestyle factors such as diet, exercise, and stress play significant roles. Switching to a diet rich in alkaline-forming foods like vegetables, fruits, and whole grains can help balance the body's pH levels. Regular exercise helps improve circulation and reduces the risk of calcification. Managing stress through practices such as meditation, yoga, and adequate sleep can also support overall health and prevent acid buildup in the body.
In every case, there can be slight differences. So I'd like to also tell you about Eileen. Eileen came to us with breast cancer. She was late 50s. She chose to do the natural way. Some people say, I chose to do the natural way and it didn't work. I say, which way did you choose? Because there are many healing arts. With breast cancer, it was absolutely essential that she balance the hormones. You cannot get cancer in the ovaries, the uterus, the breasts, if the hormones are balanced. So with all cases of reproductive cancer, must balance the hormones. So she went on the Anna's Wild Yam Cream to balance that. She implemented all of this. She's the wife of an Adventist pastor in Australia. She would ring me every few weeks, Barbara, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? She also began to put castor oil compresses on the breast. Castor oil penetrates deeper than any other oil, and wherever it penetrates, it can break up lumps, bumps, adhesions. It'll even break up a bone spur, but it'll never break up your bone. How does it do that? Well, that's one question we'll ask God in those heavenly courts, is that right? All I can tell you is that Psalm 104 verse 14 states that God gave herbs for the service of man. So when the herbs come in, they work with you. They know that that's an unnatural formation and they'll break it down. So little by little by little, the castor oil will break it down. This is not overnight. This is not after a week. Just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And also with breast cancer, it's important to make sure what's touching the breast is natural fibre. I challenge you ladies, try and find a bra made out of natural fibre. And the underwire bras are dangerous because breast tissue is lymphatic tissue and it cleans into the nodes under the arm. And there's a very effective gate there that stops that cleaning process. Can you see how there can be many factors coming in? That's why every case is different. Every case, the detective hat has to be put on. Look at the history, look at the emotions, look at the house they lived in.
Castor oil has been increasingly recognized for its potential benefits in managing certain health conditions, including breast cancer. As we have discussed, castor oil is known for its unique composition, particularly high levels of ricinoleic acid that is believed to possess anti-inflammatory and analgesic properties. When applied topically as a compress, castor oil penetrates deeply into the skin and underlying tissues. This deep penetration helps dissolve and disperse abnormal growths such as cysts, nodules, and potentially even cancerous tumors. Some studies suggest that ricinoleic acid may inhibit the growth of certain types of cancer cells in laboratory settings. For instance, a study published in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences in 2020 explored the potential anti-cancer properties of ricinoleic acid against human breast cancer cells. The findings indicated that ricinoleic acid could induce apoptosis or programmed cell death in these cells, suggesting a possible mechanism by which castor oil might exert anti-cancer effects. Castor oil also improves lymphatic circulation, which is crucial for breast cancer treatment. Breast tissue contains a significant amount of lymphatic tissue, responsible for filtering and removing toxins and waste products from the body. Lymphatic drainage can become impaired, especially under pressure from tight clothing like underwire bras, potentially hindering the body's natural detoxification processes. By promoting lymphatic flow, castor oil compresses may support the removal of toxins and metabolic waste from the breast area, thereby reducing the risk of cellular damage and promoting overall breast health.
Now, to use castor oil, you make a little pack. Now, this is not really a poultice, it's more a compress. So you'll notice I've got an old tea towel here. So you can use an old towel or something like that. And I'm going to put the castor oil on. Castor oil is very thick and it takes a little while to soak in. So all I do is do about a middle third of the whole area. So I don't really want to hold it up because it's going to run. So can you see how much I've put on? But by the end of the meeting, that will have all soaked in. So I say to people, when you're using castor oil, pour it in and don't touch it for about half an hour, and that will soak in. Now that's a really good area to put on the abdomen. Now if castor oil is applied to the abdomen, it will heal any problems in the abdomen. So what have we got in abdomen? For a woman, there's the uterus. So that will penetrate and break up fibroids in the uterus. That will penetrate and break up cysts on the ovaries. That will penetrate and soften the colon if the person has constipation. That will penetrate into the colon and heal the colon if the person has bad diarrhea. Remember Psalm 104 verse 14? God gave herbs for the service of man. So whether it's diarrhea, irritable bowel, or whether it's constipation, the castor oil will go in and it will penetrate very, very deep, and it causes a cleansing and a healing in that area. It's a remarkable herb. So you can use it to break up gallstones. So you would put it, say, on the liver area under the right rib. You may put it at the back to break up kidney stones. I've known people that have had bone spurs, say on the knee, and they'll apply the castor oil compresses. We had a lady do our program, she had bone spurs on both knees. And she also had tumours in her abdomen. After doing our program, it's 2 years now, and both 2 tumours have totally gone. Her oncologist can't believe it. So she had a total lifestyle change. And she was doing also the castor oil compresses on the knees for her bone spurs on her knees. She said after, I think it was 6 weeks, they'd gone down by half. She said she forgot to do it, and she noticed a month later they were gone. Now, last night we looked at the acid-alkaline balance, and it's a high-acid diet which causes these deposits of calcium on the bones. So she also changed her diet so that she was not having a high-acid diet anymore. So the castor oil, I've also seen it help people with brain tumours. And what they do is they put it on the area. Remember, it'll penetrate very, very deep, break up lumps, bumps, congestions, adhesions. So if you've got a sore knee and you think, well, do I use the castor oil, do I use the ginger, or do I use the potato? We'll do one night, one another night, one another night, and just see what the body says. And your body might like them all. And that's perfectly fine because they're doing slightly different things. So it's very powerful. It'll break up a bone spur, but it will not break up your bone. Why won't it break up the bone? Because remember Psalm 104 verse 14, God gave herbs for the service of man. They work with the needs of your body. So the castor oil can be a very important part of a program on something like, well, anything that I have just suggested. Now that's already soaking in quite well. Can you see that? Now because it's a compress, this can be reused again and again and again. So a person might use it a dozen times. Now if someone's using it for, let's say, a fibroid on the uterus, in the uterus, they might wear it overnight. Or some people say, well, I don't like wearing it overnight. So I say, well, just wear it for at least 5 hours a day, for at least 5 days a week. Little by little by little, it'll penetrate and start breaking up any unnatural growths in the area. One lady said that it felt so comfortable on her lump in her breast, she just wore it 24/7. And that's where you can devote a sports bra to this. Now, every time, let's say someone wears it overnight and they're going to wear it the next night, they might put another little teaspoon in. You'll get to know when it starts to dry a bit. And one person said, well, can't I just rub the castor oil into the area? You'll just get a light layer then. And any clothes you put on it are going to get castor oil on them, and that is no fun to get out of your clothes. But with this compress, it's a vehicle. It's a vehicle to hold the oil. And the thicker the compress, the more oil it can hold, and the more oil is available to go into you. Now, an old bush remedy in Australia is if you get something in your eye, put a drop of castor oil in your eye. And that'll roll around and even take it out. And another recipe, I have not used this, but I have had people testify for glaucoma and cataracts, put 1 drop in each eye before you go to bed at night. That's the only time you do it, because you'll go a bit blurry. But because you're going to sleep, it doesn't matter. One lady said, I'm about to have an op, what'll I do? I said, well, put the drop in each eye and see what happens. And if it's too advanced to basically have a turnaround, maybe you'll have an op. But personally, I think it's worth the try.
Castor oil offers a wide array of benefits that extend beyond its traditional uses, making it a versatile and valuable natural remedy in holistic health practices. One of the standout benefits of castor oil is its ability to deeply moisturize and nourish the skin. Rich in fatty acids, particularly ricinoleic acid, castor oil acts as a potent emollient, effectively softening and hydrating dry, rough skin. This makes it a popular ingredient in skincare products, helping to alleviate conditions like eczema, dermatitis, and even acne by soothing inflammation and promoting skin repair.
So let me show you how it's made. So you need to have several thicknesses. See, I've got quite a few thicknesses there. And you have a plastic backing. This is what I do. And then you pour the castor oil on. Now, castor oil is very, very thick, as you will see. So I put it on, and the reason I'm putting it on early in our lecture is because that's going to take a little while to soak in. So I cannot hold that up for you. But you might see that it's just sitting on top. And notice that I've just covered about 1/3 of the area. So we're going to let that just sit because it will soak in. By the time we'll have a little bit of a break halfway through our demo this morning, you can come and see. So if you were to put that on right now, the oil would just splat everywhere. So you need to do it about half an hour before you're going to apply it and allow it little by little to soak in. Where would you apply the castor oil? It will break up a bone spur. That's probably the hardest thing it can break up. If the bone spur's been there 3 years, it might take 3 months of application to break up the spur. If the bone spur's been there 3 months, it may take 3 weeks of application to break it up. So it all depends how long it has been there. So just keep applying it little by little. Will the castor oil break up a bone? No, it will not. Remember Psalm 104 verse 14, God gave herbs for the service of man. Basically, the castor oil just works with the needs of the body. It goes where it needs to, and a bone spur is an unnatural formation. It's a calcium deposit that's built up on the body, so the castor oil can break that down. Also, it can be used for cataracts. 1 drop of castor oil in the eye. Now, guests have told me very difficult to do that. And so here's an easy way to do it. You just put castor oil on your finger and you just wipe it over your eye and your eyelashes, and you blink, and it will penetrate through the eyelid, and it'll also come a little bit in through the lashes.
Research shows that castor oil has antimicrobial properties that make it effective against bacterial and fungal infections. When applied topically, it forms a protective barrier on the skin, aiding in wound healing and preventing infections from taking hold. This protective barrier is also beneficial for scalp health, where castor oil is used to treat dandruff and scalp infections, nourishing hair follicles and encouraging healthy hair growth. Beyond external applications, castor oil is renowned for its role as a natural laxative. The ricinoleic acid in castor oil stimulates intestinal contractions, relieving constipation effectively. However, internal use should be approached cautiously and preferably under medical guidance to avoid potential side effects. In addition to its gastrointestinal benefits, castor oil is being researched for its potential to support immune function and reduce inflammation throughout the body. Studies suggest that its compounds may help modulate immune responses and alleviate symptoms of inflammatory conditions such as arthritis and joint pain. By reducing inflammation, castor oil contributes to overall wellness and may complement conventional treatments for chronic inflammatory diseases. Furthermore, research explores castor oil's effects on managing diabetes and supporting liver health. Some studies indicate that it may aid in regulating blood sugar levels and improving insulin sensitivity. Its detoxifying properties are believed to support liver function by helping to eliminate toxins from the body. Thank you for joining me today as we explored the incredible benefits of castor oil. I hope you've gained valuable insights from this lecture. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with others who might benefit from the wonders of castor oil. Stay tuned for more tips on living a vibrant and healthy life. Until next time, take care and be well.